All right, guys, welcome to part four. You're in the home stretch here. This is where we're going to take all those previous three implements or parts of the assignment. We're going to try to paste them together in order to get a plan of attack for you moving forward as you come back to term two and we come back from fall break. This is a plan that we're going to reference throughout term two. Are you living up to your plan that you designed and made for yourself, or are you not? So what we want you to consider in part four is this should be your most lengthy reflection that we've asked you to do yet. You've written some reflections that some have been great on your digital portfolios. Others have been very sparse in their language, and your ability to communicate is not quite there yet. What we're asking you to do here is be lengthy in your answers and be very detailed, and again, cite examples. We're asking you, where do you feel like you have the most potential to grow? What do you feel like you are struggling the most with? What has been your greatest success in class so far? It's a place to not just focus on your weaknesses, but also to celebrate your strengths, because you all have strengths. Different. Some people are different than others, and where those strengths lie. But that's the way the world works, and that's the way that people work. So we really want you to reflect on, where are you at? What have you done really well? What have you not done well? And going forward, if you've identified a glaring weakness in yourself in one of these habits of mind, or just as a person, we want you to be honest here and write down, what is it? What is your plan to change that? It might be useful here to go back up to that part three and take a look at the habits of mind if you need a description on maybe what it is to be a good communicator to us in this class. If you read that description and you feel like, man, I'm really lacking on my ability to communicate and get my thoughts across to people through different platforms, we'll take a look at the description up there, see if you feel like that's realistic of us to ask you, and then respond to how can you get to that level, knowing the level that you're currently at and identifying your weakness. How can you get to that next level? And what are you going to do when you come back into term two in order to get to that level? This is all about you and what you feel like you need to do to hit all of those habits of mind. And when you get to the end of this class, that you've shown us evidence in all nine and that you've grown a lot in all nine. Not everybody's going to be perfect at the end of the class. We understand that, we realize it, and we expect it. But we do expect you to show us growth in all of the categories of the habits of mind. If you do that, you're going to be successful regardless of whether or not your solution or your prototype or whatever you guys are making flops. Because what we're really concerned with and what we're focusing on is, how do we grow a mindset in you? That starts here, and giving us a plan of action and something to follow as we launch into term two. Let's meet over in part five when you're done writing up your plan for growth here in part four. We'll meet in part five, the final part of this big giant term one reflection.